I'm gonna mute.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm going to just wait one more minute for some latecomers and we'll get started. Thank you all for taking time out. Hopefully your stomach's not talking to you. Are you able to see my face, Elizabeth?
Yes, I can see you just fine.
Thanks.
And I am actually going to mute myself as well because I've got two big dogs here and they like to speak.
Hi, Michael. Thanks for joining us. It's going to take about one more minute for others to come on. What a beautiful day today, huh? Wow.
It is gorgeous. It's nice and sunny.
I know you all have people spread out all over America. For instance, I guess Don Winters, he was in New Jersey, but in Alpharetta, it's 73 degrees. If anybody wants to know.
I'm actually in Johns Creek, so I'm right there with.
Oh, that's great. JC, Johns Creek. We moved here about, oh gosh, 17 years ago, and we lived off of Sargent Road in Johns Creek. You know where that is, Sargent's Road?
Yep, I'm off of State Bridge in Medlock.
Oh, yeah. I remember Jones Bridge was being widened, and our kids' school was 3 miles from our house. And it was like 40 minutes each way to take the kids and pick them up.
Yeah.
That was a big test of our marriage. We're going to have a little drawing today, as promised, $50 Amazon gift card. So I'm going to, and of course, $50 from Amazon will help you to take control of your cash, the topic of today's presentation, right? Every little bit helps.
That is true.
Need to have about 2 zeros after the $50, don't we, fellas and girls, ladies? So I got L. Vargas going into the pot. We got MB, Michael Burlow. EG, Elizabeth Good, she doesn't qualify. And E. Martin. It's going into the old Secure Life Benefits coffee cup. And we'll have the drawing in a few minutes. So let's get started. Looks like everybody's here that's going to attend today. And you know, this is really a difficult topic to talk about because it requires a lot of psychology, a lot of self-discipline, maturity, and you know, just assessing your overall monthly financial picture. So sometimes that's not real fun to talk about, but I'll try to make it as fun as we can today. My name's Jim Pullen, and I have my own business in downtown Alpharetta called Secure Life Benefits. But I also realize the key to success is giving back to the community. And I've partnered with a well-respected national firm called the Society for Financial Awareness. And they're a nonprofit, but their whole mission is to improve financial literacy one company at a time. So the reason that your company Capital invited me and SOFA is because there is no bias, there's no favoritism, there's no financial products pushed, and there's no catch for attendance. Going to admit a couple more people here. Thank you for attending, everyone. I've got two new attendants that I need to put into the drawing for the $50 Amazon gift card. We've got to make it attractive for you to attend, especially when talking about such a dreaded topic of debt and taking control of your cash. So I'm putting Shanita Derrick's name in the pot for the drawing. And I think there's C. Wilson that just showed up. Thank y'all for attending today. It's only going to take about 40 minutes for us to go through this material, and then we'll ask some questions at the end. So you're welcome to leave off your microphones and your cameras, unless you want to chime in and say something. But we'll be giving out this $50 gift card in a few minutes. Okay, so now we'll get started once and for all. I'm sharing my screen with you because my contact information is on the front there. And SOFA, Society for Financial Awareness, is an independent nonprofit organization. And the reason we've been selected to present this material is because there's no favoritism, no bias, no catches. I'm here just to share one financial topic with you today. This is our third topic in a number of different topics. And HR has selected several topics for us to talk about through these monthly workshops. So anyway, let's get started. Since you're all on mute, we don't have to worry about your cell phones going off. Back to SOFA again. You want to get reliable, independent material to be able to make good decisions about your finances. And the Society of Financial Awareness has been around since 1993. I'm a speaker for them. I've been in the industry of financial services since I was 21. So I guess the years are flying by. I'm on the 36th year right now.
Hey, Jim,
Yes, ma'am.
I can't see your presentation.
Okay. So sorry. Just 1 second.
That's fine. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't just
Oh,
me.
I'm very, very happy. Thank you so much. Okay, there we go. Sorry for the technical difficulty. Okay, so we got the, you can see now, Elizabeth?
Yes, I can see it now.
Great. So there's the cover page of the presentation. If you want to take a picture of that page, it'll give you my email address and office number. That might come in handy if some components of our discussion today would apply to your personal situation. There is no cost or fee if you would like to have a private discussion after hours about your particular financial situation. So that's there for you. I was just going through a little bit about SOFA, Society of Financial Awareness, and we have partnered with many, many companies around America to help improve the financial literacy of their employees. And Capital realizes that you're more focused on their business and your goals in working for CAN if you have a good grip on your own personal finances. So one of the ways that we can improve upon our personal finances is improving our self-awareness about debt and also about planning for retirement, setting aside an emergency fund, etc. So we'll touch on all these, and it's going to take about 35 minutes now. This is a sampling of some of the big companies in America that we've helped educate their employees about many, many financial topics. After we finish today, I would appreciate you guys taking the time to fill out this fillable evaluation form. There might be a topic that you're most interested in. There's no way for us to plan other seminars if we don't know what your interests are, because we're really doing this to help you be successful financially. So that would be helpful. This is also a evaluation form that you can email back in if you'd like to speak, one evening after you finish your day there at CAN about your personal situation. And if there's any topic today that we cover that you feel could be presented better, you're welcome to interject that on the form also. Okay. So, when someone's been in the financial services industry like myself for 36 years, why are we doing this? Why do you do this for free, Jim Pullen, me, the speaker? And it really boils down to, as you get older, you are around people of different generations and age groups, and you can see later in their lives what may be a lack of financial planning, what the result of that was in their retirement years, or if they had very good discipline financially and savings, how that could pay off later in their lives. So you've got my mother and father there, and my daughter, she's 27. I got a son, 29, who's also a certified financial planner. So in our family, my dad, being a business owner just like me, he really didn't do as good a job as he could for planning for himself. He gave too much to others, and a lot of that distraction, that's a good excuse, but all of you on this call today, you've got to take care of good old number one, and that's yourself. Pay yourself first by setting aside some money out of your earnings for yourself. And that's very, very important. On the other hand, my mother's, my wife, she's my mother too. My wife of 33 years, her mom and dad were very, very disciplined and made some very good financial moves in their working careers. And the big difference in the two couples there is, I think my mom and dad watched the mailman showing up every month to go get the Social Security checks out of the mailbox, where I think the other couple here, my wife's parents, I think they've been called a few times because they haven't cashed their Social Security check. So I want to be on the path that we don't have to worry. Don't worry, retire happy. And you're going to come to a lot of forks in the road in your working career about making financial purchases and decisions. And so hopefully some of the strategies we talk about today will help make the best decisions. And then there's the grandparents who have passed away. They did very, very well in their working careers, but all of the assets they had saved got gobbled up with home health care and long-term care expenses. They didn't choose to have a plan, a private plan to pay for those expenses later in life. And it really decimated my inheritance. Ha ha. Yeah, I think they went through like $1 million the last 15 years of their life with home health care and long-term care expenses. So that's the why, is to help you to be in a position to be successful and meet your financial goals later. So, you know, happiness is mental, and money might not be able to buy happiness, but it is the instrument that we all need to get through life on earth. And because of that, you know, we have to psychologically, contrary to popular belief, you know, we need to really focus on making informed financial decisions. And the choices can be, you know, big and small, but a lot of the choices we make are based on our understanding of some very basic financial concepts. So knowing the fundamentals of money, that is money management, it's only half the battle. We have to understand how we as people relate to money and what stress it can cause and what gratification it can also provide. So that's just a little starting slide there. So, gosh, I think about this all the time. I'm just like you all on the phone call. I have issues determining that some of my financial purchases, what of two categories they're in, needs and wants. And that is such a simple thing to keep on the forefront of your mind before you make a purchase. Is this something that I need to get through to function, or is it just a want? So you know, spending money on things we think we need or that we think will create happiness for us is really based on the notion that if I have this or that, I'm going to feel better. It's going to create happiness. And I think I set the record the first 20 years in business of the number of leased cars that I went through. And, you know, even though leasing versus buying is a different decision altogether, once that new car scent goes away after about 6 months, sometimes I felt like, what have I done? Did I need to do this? Or did I just want to do it? So no, there's no judgment here. I'm just giving you a simple one slide there to keep at the forefront of your mind. Is this a need or a want? So we buy because of emotion a lot of times, and we don't make good logical decisions. And, you know, like I just said, we think a purchase might make us happy, and that will fade. Sometimes the purchase we make loses its value over time, and then we look for another item to purchase and another and another. So try to impose financial logic and not just focus on emotion. I know your business quite well, as I have business loans, and you know, that's a whole different category of financial decision. Loan consolidation, having debt to get your business to the next level, having equipment debt versus overhead debt. You know, you got to weigh all that out to make the best decision. I know if there's any salespeople on the call, you do have to get people excited about the improvement of their lives if they're going to take out a business loan through your company or an equipment loan. So you gotta be a great advisor to your clients too, and make sure they're making a financially logical decision. So that's one thing we all have in common on this call is when I advise clients, I want them to really understand the parameters of what they're purchasing, what tool is going to get them to where they want to be, and do they understand it? And they're not just making a rash decision. Because one thing about it, when you sign the dotted line, you've already missed that fork in the road. It's hard to turn back around and start over again once you get a loan commitment implemented, etc.
Shrimp and veggies with the spaghetti.
Hey, Michael, you might want to mute your microphone there. It's okay. I wouldn't mind coming over for some spaghetti later on, though. No problem. So you also, another psychological part of money is adjusting our perspective. I guess it took me about 15 years to realize I could not keep up with the Joneses. They always got me beat. They always had something. So, I want you to have the confidence to know that your self-worth has nothing to do with your net worth. Money doesn't make a person, but it's who you are on the inside that defines your life. I mean, wow, 33 years of being married. I don't publicize this, especially not in front of my wife, but I think my love for my wife has grown from the outside to the inside. She could probably say the same thing about me. As we age, things happen to our bodies, and it really.
And you send the email, you can copy and paste.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, part of this changing of your perspective is just to come into grips that money doesn't make a person, and it can really affect the kind of person you were created to be if you're a servant to debt or a slave to debt. So there's nothing wrong with postponing making financial decisions and taking your time to evaluate a decision. It's all on you. You're in control. So don't feel like you're pressured to make a decision ever, hopefully. So, another thing too about finances is, we put that on the back burner because it's scary for some of us. And I'll tell you what, this is a very serious topic. All your financial dealings are, but you are in control, like the prior slide, and you can control your savings and expenses and your earnings. And you just have to adopt that mindset. So again, this is pretty deep. I'm not trying to get into your feelings of self-worth, but again, you have all the opportunity in the world to make bank in your job and prosper in your career. And even though it might feel good making a big purchase, looking at that long term, it can affect your success if it's a burden on you. So don't delay implementing a couple of these concepts I'm going to share with you, because the earlier that you can get a grip on tackling any potential money issues, the more it's going to pay off long term for you. Gosh, and if you are having troubles with girlfriends or a spouse, add a little financial issue on top of that, everything gets magnified. So anyway, self-analysis. I went to a function last night where the big topic was a faith-driven entrepreneurship business owner, really everybody that's on this call runs their own business. You own your own thoughts. You own your own actions. And, you know, some people convince themselves that they don't deserve happiness and accept their circumstances far too easily. And the truth of the matter is, you know, getting ahead in life financially is something to pay really particular attention to. And all of us are built differently. So what makes you happy might be different for another person. So, you know, spend a few minutes, time each day reflecting on what makes you happy, and try to eliminate any negativity. And sometimes having a lot of credit card debt at 20%, you know, that can really put a damper on your thought process. So let's talk about some ways to potentially eliminate that. Gosh, isn't this the truth? Nothing's easy in life. You got to work for it. And a lot of that working for what you want to achieve financially evolves around your activity, you know, your preparation to prepare to learn about the loan products or the purpose of your particular department. And, you know, in Tuesday's talk, when I first got in business, I knew that talking about financial planning and money accumulation, they called it the eighth wonder of the world, getting money to compound tax deferred and tax free. And what that did for me was, if I applied that same concept to my business of really dedicating and putting a lot of hours of time into my business early, I really could not succeed because of the effort and hard work I put in early. It's like the compounding effect of money, our efforts. So it might take a meeting with your spouse or loved ones to say that, look, here's where I can be in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, but it's a team effort. You know, we've all got to sacrifice a little bit of time and maybe have a little bit of an unbalanced lifestyle early on. But when you get that started early in your career, it can really boom later. And it's never too late to ever make a change with your lifestyle choices and how you balance your life. Matter of fact, to this day, I have to always focus on having a balanced life and putting forth the time that's needed outside of work and business and money. So it never really goes away. You've always got to be aware of it. So anyway, setting some financial goals is really important. What's the one phrase? If you don't write down your goals, they're just dreams. You know, you've got to write things down, your financial goals, and keep them in front of your eyes to keep you on track and be reminded of what you want to accomplish. So the first step is you've got to take a little bit of time to educate yourself about various financial topics. And, you know, you don't have to be an expert, but try to make an effort to learn about the housing market, what the interest rates are, what could you do by consolidating a loan or shifting money from one place to another. Second really big important part of taking control of your circumstances is to have an accountability partner or a teammate. You know, when I counsel people about their finances, I feel like I'm the financial coach. And, you know, some of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world have financial coaches and life coaches, because even they need help and accountability along the way. So those are two big steps, is to get educated more about finances and financial related topics, get an accountability partner or a financial advisor to help you to be accountable and keep you on track. And then creating a plan is the third big factor in taking control of your circumstances. I do computer generated software financial plans for a ton of business owners, couples, W-2 employees, self-employed employees. Having a plan is the ultimate in eliminating financial stress and giving you peace of mind. Even if you're not on track, having that plan that you can refer to see if we're going to be saving enough money as we approach our retirement years. If we save this amount at this interest rate, what's going to be the total in my account later in life? And then when I start drawing that money out, will it last as long as my life expectancy? If you just run around and don't have a plan and don't know what the potential outcome will be later, it really can affect your mood. But if you stay on track and have a plan, it can really improve your mindset and your success along the way. So those are just taking some small steps that can dramatically improve your chances for success. And you don't have to do everything all at once. You can take small steps. One of those is creating a monthly budget. Early on in life, I realized that I've got to put my numbers into a QuickBooks package. I have to have a personal spreadsheet that I can put my monthly expenses, list them, and then I can see what's coming in and what's going out. So again, assessing where you are by putting your monthly costs and monthly expenses on paper versus what you bring in. It can be depressing. It can also be very self-gratifying. And then once you get that assessment completed, you can then look at what your financial situation is and set some financial goals and put it on paper. And then if I had individuals on the call where your sales manager is giving you activity goals, how many open businesses do you have in your funnel versus how many are A, B, C, or D prospects versus how much is the gross amount of the loan. If you keep records 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, you can diagnose where the shortcomings might be, because there's a process that we all follow to be successful. And if you don't write any numbers down, if you don't hold yourself accountable for your activity, you really can't determine why you're not meeting your numbers. Or on the other hand, if you are meeting your numbers, you feel so great that you are exercising these ratios of activity and it's working. They weren't lying to you. It works. And then, if you keep records, even with your budgeting, you can refine and make adjustments, but it does take time to, put things down on paper. Another crazy phrase is most people spend more time planning their annual vacation than they do on their, finances annually. And that's the truth, isn't it? So got to try to shift your mind into being self-aware and accountable to where you want to be. All right. I'm going to email all of you a budget spreadsheet with tons of topics. tons of categories that you can fill in and begin this process of determining, where the money's going each month. Little things like knowing what the Can Capital 401k plan matches, taking advantage of the company matching funds. All those components. What is the interest rate on your automobile note? What's the balance? What's the value of the vehicle? Home mortgage, interest rate, inflation. What's the market around your home doing? Is it increasing? Is it staying idle, or is it going down? So all those are components of developing your plan. But the hardest part is putting together a budget, because that's going to take not that much time, but it's really going to keep you on track and allow you to see where your money's going. And there's lots of apps on your phone. You've heard of different ones that I can send you links to also, that you can keep right on your phone and modify and review at any time throughout the day. So one of the big recommendations that I can give a testimony to is at least saving about 3 months of income. That's probably a number one goal, because when life happens and you hit a curve and blow out 2 tires, or there's a leak in the roof, or a sibling needs a short-term loan, or a child has that unplanned for recreation fee that the high school's charging just to play the sport. We all want to please our kids and please one another. And if you don't have the money handy, it forces you to enter into a financial situation that might not be low cost money to get temporarily. So it should be a really big goal of everyone on the call to see if they have 3 to 6 months worth of expenses saved, because the emergencies are going to happen. I can promise you. And they can happen to anyone, anytime. And having some cushion or some money to make up for that margin that might happen later is really going to be valuable to your financial mindset. Yeah, this slide talks about being a financial guru. That's not everybody's cup of tea. They don't want to know the intricacies of mutual funds or exchange traded funds or the components of the various 401k investment options. But I'm just trying to encourage you to do your part to become more educated. But more than that, you don't have to speak with a certified credit counselor, but have a financial planner or a financial advisor that you can work with to establish a game plan. So again, that's part of being a financial guru, because you have to be accountable to yourself, right? And a lot of that comes from improving your knowledge, but having someone that you can rely upon to ask questions about finances. So one quick, easy one that I can give you today, everybody's muted, but I bet some people on the call have a home mortgage. And how about a no cost, no fee way to take 4 to 5 years off your fixed mortgage? All your mortgage lenders will allow you to take your current mortgage payment and just cut it in half and make the payment every 2 weeks, not increasing any extra out of your budget, but just making the payment half on the 15th, half on the 30th, or half on the 5th, half on the 20th. And that's so simple, but you just got to log into your mortgage lender's portal or call your lender and they will adjust that payment strategy. Instead of making one payment, you're just going to make two that will total the same as the one payment. So what's that look like in writing? Let's just say that we were talking and your mortgage amount that you finance is $305,000, and you might have a lot lower interest rate than 5%. This example is a 5% interest rate mortgage, and one person's just kind of doing what everybody else does in America. One time a month, they make that mortgage payment. But we're going to get smart here today, and we're going to make the same payment, except we're going to send it in divided by 2 every 2 weeks. So by doing that, this is depressing, because if you borrow $305,000, you pay a lot of interest over a 30-year period, don't you? You borrow $305,000, and the interest above the 300,000 is $284,000. That's depressing enough. But just splitting up that mortgage payment, divide it by 2 times a month, you can save $52,000 of interest in this example, and cut the mortgage being paid off down by 5 years. So that's a no cost, easy one to make that call. I have a personal home, and I have an investment property, and both of mine are set up on every 2 weeks. So if it means shifting some other bills around so that your paycheck, when it comes in, can be rearranged to do this strategy, it's well worth it. Another big tool that I use with clients is, if you have high interest debt, you can take the equity in your home and set up a home equity line of credit. The reason the home equity line of credit is better than taking out a second loan or a second home mortgage is because the line of credit's flexible. It's a put and take account, and you only pay interest on the amount that you draw, but you can pay it back. Let's say that you've had some cycles of good months and bad months in loan closings with Can Capital, and you know that historically 2 or 3 months of the year that you typically do very well, or it could be a month that your compensation is set up so that you receive bonuses based on your activity throughout the year. You can have a home equity line of credit, have that approved, sitting on the shelf, draw money out for other elimination of high interest debt, and then when the bonus hits or the big month hits, you can pay it off. So you know, that's what I like about a home equity line of credit. And I have found a bank that is one of the lowest interest rates with low documentation. It is based on your credit score, but having virtually no documentation, virtually no closing costs, and a 5% fixed interest rate on a home equity line of credit is a very good HELOC amount. And you got to watch the parameters, just like you know at your company, of a loan. There's a lot of moving parts, and I've got one that I'll share with you. It's a bank called United Community Bank, and they have locations around America, but they've really got an attractive HELOC program. That's one that I have and other clients have. So hopefully that can be helpful. So a real life example, you know, a husband and wife with 3 kids, you know, they're in a hurry. Life is fast. And before they know it, they have several credit card balances that are high. And this couple had several $1,000s of equity in their home. And this is really elementary financial planning 101, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out if you've got 3 or 4 credit cards, pull the statement. If any of those credit cards are over a year old, whatever the balance is, it's typically growing at 18 to 30% a year. And if you can go over there and get that home equity line of credit at 5%, you can pull that money and free up several $100s of monthly income that was being paid to those credit card companies. Of course, there's a caveat to that. You can't run the credit cards back up again. But, you know, if you have a bad month or if there's a late payment or two, those credit card companies got you, man. So that's been a big bonus to a lot of couples that I work with and individuals, is just looking at their overall debt and seeing which interest rates could really be eliminated or reduced by taking out a HELOC. Who needs to get a HELOC if you've got some extra money in your monthly income that you can shift to pay down the highest interest debt first? So that's called the snowball method. It's very popular, and that's basically the way that helps me to memorize. I have been skiing a few times, and if you know that snowball at the top of the mountain starts rolling down the hill, it can turn into a huge freaking boulder. It can turn into a glacier. And so you know, one way to get some snowballs broken up on that mountain is to feel some self-satisfaction by paying down some of the high interest debt first. Get that put behind us. It's all about taking time. You know, you might want to watch the latest Lord of the Rings Prime Video or Netflix series, and you get into there and it took 2 hours one night. I'm telling you, it doesn't take much time at all to shift your time to look at what debts you have and what the interest rate is and what's the balance. So it's just a matter of not moving too fast, prioritizing, getting a grip on your finances, because I promise you, you don't want to call a credit counseling agency. They can help a little bit, but they always charge fees, blah, blah, blah. And you can do a lot of this on your own. Of course, a financial advisor can help you determine a great game plan to pay off maybe one debt, then move on to the second highest interest rate, and so on. Because we all want to live a happy life and have a happy wife. Sorry, but yeah, if you want to live happy, the debt will absolutely mess you up in trying to live a happy financial life. So, you know, if you take the actions such as setting up your budget after you've thought about what makes you happy, what your financial goals are, then, you know, this is what's going to occur. You're going to be able to potentially lower monthly payments or consolidate payments, have lower interest rates. It might be that we have to try to lower increase our credit score. Wow, have you ever seen anything in life more important now than your credit score? Oh my gosh. You know, and then we have to watch those tricks. You know, if you pay off an installment note and don't leave a little bit of balance, your credit score can drop 20 points because you paid the note off entirely. So little things like that I've learned the hard way. Sometimes paying off something entirely will actually drop your credit score. So sometimes it's best to leave a little bit on the table there to at least keep a card or a loan open, etc. So other ways to manage your debt, like we've already spoken about, is trying to stay up to date on your financial education, and again, partner with a financial advisor or financial planner, and have a coach to help you stay on track. So let's do the drawing now. That pretty much concludes our discussion today. I've got my office window open. You probably hear the vehicles going by. But anyway, let's get this drawing taken care of. I know y'all are probably wanting to check out about 30 minutes ago, but you're waiting for that $50 gift card from Amazon. So I've got the old coffee cup in here, and I'm reaching in to get my yellow Post-it notes, and I've got everybody's name written down. Oh my gosh, I should have took the coffee out of the coffee cup. Oh, no, just kidding. My gosh, L Vargas is the winner today, and I can see her. I can see her picture. So anyway, L Vargas, you are the winner. What do you say?
I Vargas.
Oh, sorry.
my name is Ivan, so thank you, appreciate it.
You know what?
I hear Vargas, but so this is me.
I won't screw it up. I've got one contact that I can see close and one that I can see far. So give me a break. I'm sorry, I Vargas.
Okay,
So
no problem.
I Vargas.
No problem.
Yeah, I'll
But at the end, so what I really appreciate is, all the comments and all of that stuff. So it is very helpful for us. So
yes.
definitely, so we need to follow
Yes.
some advices, and hopefully if you can send the spreadsheet that you mentioned it. So I
Yes.
really appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Yeah, I'll email everybody that survey and the budget spreadsheet and some other online budgeting softwares that I found
Okay.
helpful. So
Okay.
everybody's going to get that. And again, I mean, shoot, we're all busy, but I would gladly welcome a call with any of you all after hours, just to bounce some ideas off you or vice versa. Because, my dad the other day was diagnosed with dementia, and, we had to go get 3 different physicians' opinions. And the same holds true with our finances. Sometimes there's a lot of ways to get the job done, but there's nothing wrong with getting a couple of different opinions. And one item, for example, you might be investing in the 401k plan at work. And even though the vendor is available for you to call, they might see those different options that you can choose the growth of your 401k that's based on several options. Even if we looked at those, I might be able to throw a couple of free diversification options your way that could be helpful. So there's lots of different financial planning topics that it's always good to get a second opinion on. Does anybody have any questions? If they want to open up and ask anything, you're welcome to. If not, I just want to thank you all again for taking time out of your after-hour lunch, and feel free to email me or call anytime you want. And again, we don't charge any fees in our office for consultation, or I wouldn't be talking to you now, because we want the best for CAP and their employees, and we're working together as a team. So anyway, I appreciate your time. Thank you all so much, and have a great rest of the week.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Have a great one.
Thank to you. Thank you all.
Bye bye,
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.